Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So as I promised you guys in my last video, there would be a lot of new monsters coming into Old School RuneScape soon, and today is the day where many of them were released. Now, since the update hit just about 16 hours ago, I wanted to spend the whole day killing one of the specific monsters that was released, so I decided that I wanted to kill 1,000 of these normal-sized Hydras. Now, the requirement to actually kill this monster is 95 Slayer, and I must give you guys a fair warning before you watch this video. This update covers a lot of words that I just cannot pronounce to save my life, so if I mispronounce any words, I do apologize. Just know that I tried my very best. Now, if you do happen to be 95 Slayer and you're curious where you can find these Hydras at, basically with this update today, you can use your Draymond Staff or any fairy ring in the game using the code CIR, and you can teleport directly to this location. Once you're at this location, you just have to run north, go up a few ladders, and then go down an elevator, and you will be in the Slayer dungeon. Now, this dungeon has many different monsters to offer, and the best part about every single monster in here is that if it gets too crowded, then there's two different locations for each monster. So in one location you have everyone who's on Slayer task, and pretty much that's only a specific Slayer location, and then another location for anyone who's not on Slayer task, pretty much like me throughout the whole making of this video, so that each and every single player can kill these things even if you're not on task. But I will say the number one difference between being on task and not being on task, as it goes for most of these monsters, is that the rare drop table is much more common if you happen to be on task. Kind of reminds me of Revenants. You know, if you're Skulled killing Revs, you have a better shot at the rare drop table versus if you're unskulled. Well, the same thing here, except if you're on task, you have a better shot at getting the rares versus not being on task. Now, the rare drop table for these normal Hydras do consist of 4 different items, one of them being tradable and the other 3 not being tradable. Imagine the other 3 kind of like dark totem pieces in the catacomb. You have to collect each and every single piece until you get all 3 pieces, and then once you get all 3 pieces, you combine them, and once you combine them all, you will be left with the Brimstone Ring. Now, according to the wiki, the Brimstone Ring has no requirements to wear and provides the combined offensive and defensive stats of all of the unimbued Fremennik rings and Wilderness rings, excluding the Ring of the Gods. And it also says when using this ring and when casting combat spells, the ring has a 25% chance to ignore 10% of the target's total magic defense. Now, I'm not too sure what that means, but I guess that means that this ring is really useful. So obtaining those 3 untradeable drops from these Hydras, and those drops being the Fang, the Heart, as well as the Eye, you know, that will benefit you in the long run, and you can eventually create that ring. I do believe that ring is actually tradable, so you have to just get to the process of making it, and then you can kind of profit off of it. Now, to conclude on the rare drop table from these Hydras, there's only one rare worth mentioning, and that of course is the Hydra tail. Now, once you get this tail, you can use it and combine it with the Dragon Bone necklace and the Bone Crusher. Once you do this, you will have the Bone Crusher necklace, quite a name for a necklace there, and what that does is it combines the effect of both of those items, making it a very, very useful necklace for things like Slayer as well as many other things. So as I was killing these Hydras all day today, I gotta be honest, most people along with this update were kind of camping the boss, so I did have a lot of privacy. It really didn't matter what world I was in, it was really just me and everyone else who just kind of said hello to me. And even if this area did happen to be crowded, I really liked the idea that they added all those Slayer only task rooms that, you know, would really help the population problem, because I see that a lot in the catacombs of Kourend with Dust Devils and just things like that. You know, things get really crowded really fast, and with this location, since these are much higher level and the fact that there's 2 different rooms for every single monster, it's just a really easy way to make it so that you really don't have to worry about people crashing you or anything like that. So well done to Jagex on that. You know, looking at this drop tab here from 300 kills, and I gotta be honest, this video was going by pretty fast. I was actually averaging with rune darts and max range bonus, as well as using Bastion potions and using rigor the whole entire day. I was averaging just about 85 to 90 kills per hour, and at that hourly speed, I was expecting to finish this video today. I really wanted to get this out there as soon as I could, but one thing that I was not expecting was to actually see a drop so early on, especially since we were off task. And yeah, this drop came just about 400 kills into the video, and it was the Hydra Eye, which is the first of 3 pieces that you need, as I mentioned earlier on, to make that Brimstone Ring. So I was excited, I did not expect it, and just looking at the drop tab here, you know, from these 400 kills, you can kind of tell that that rare was definitely needed. You know, I was expecting a much more, you know, alchable drop table, you know, maybe some variety, a lot of noted items, but at the end of the day, I wasn't really seeing that many items from the Hydra drop table, and you guys will see that more so towards the end of the video once we get to the price check. But yeah, you know, as it goes for the actual Hydra and how to kill it, you know, you really don't have to worry too much about taking a lot of damage. However, you can't totally AFK this because there is one specific attack that shoots 3 poison bubbles at you, or like toxic slime, something like that. It's like yellow on the ground, and as long as you're not standing on any of those puddles or any of those tiles, then you won't be taking any damage. However, if you are standing on one of those tiles, then you will constantly be hit with a poison splat of like 2 to 3, and you know, eventually you will notice, or eventually it will kill you. So it does require a little bit of concentration for that one specific attack. And speaking of being attacked, you know, we are getting attacked with a lot of rares right here. Now that's pretty cringe. But anyway, here's drop number 2 of the video, Hydra Fang. This is the second piece of the brimstone ring that we needed. So at this point, we only needed one more piece, and we still had 400 kills to go. So yeah, the optimism was pretty high, and at the end of the day, I was not expecting a single drop from this video. So I was really happy to see that. And yeah, looking at that tab, you know, 600 kills really was coming along pretty nicely. As you can see, you know, we were seeing a little bit more items than before, and you know, the cash stack was growing. I wasn't using a ring of wealth through this video because I figured the archer ring imbued was much more useful. Definitely think I made the right call. The only piece of equipment that you really do need, as you can see on both of my accounts here, you do need a specific pair of boots, which if you don't have these boots on, then you will be taking constant damage, so you'll pretty much know that before you walk in here. And these boots are labeled Boots of Stone, so feel free to pick up yourself a pair. If you're an Iron Man, you can just buy yourself one from the Slayer Master. That's what I did on my Iron Man account anyway. As it pertains to the inventory setup for my main and just for this video in general, you know, killing these Hydras, every single inventory I was averaging just about 12 to 15 kills, and I was picking up every single bone, so that is how I was tracking the kills. For my inventory setup though, I would bring 2 prayer potions, 1 brew, 1 restore, 1 anti-venom just in case I got poisoned, and 1 range pot. Now that's all not necessary. I was also bringing anglerfish. You know, I wasn't pretty much going to make any money this video. I decided that around kill 200, so I was just going for the fastest kills per hour, and that is why I was using rune darts. That's why I was using bastion potions, constantly using rigor, and I didn't even bring a cannon, but you could have brought that as well. Now throughout the day, I have seen people bring a rapier here. I've seen people bring whips here. I would say overall, from what I've seen, the best in slot thing to use on these small Hydras would be either a blowpipe or a twisted bow. Twisted bow seems to be the best, and you can save much more money with the twisted bow compared to a blowpipe. Even if you're using addy darts, and even if you're using, you know, different setup, you will still be using money on that blowpipe. So keep that in mind, that, you know, although range is the #1 thing to use here, you will be spending money while doing so. Now, truly the most important factor about these Hydras is the way they attack you. It's pretty simple to attack them. You know, you either keep your distance and range them, or you just up close and personal and you kill them using a whip or whatever weapon you decide to go with. But as it goes for them fighting back, you know, there is 2 different styles of attack that they can use. Although I did mention before about that poison attack that you have to pay a little bit of attention to, and you know, that is just a matter of not being AFK. It should be mentioned, and you know, I probably should have mentioned this earlier on in the video, but every 3rd attack from these Hydras, they do switch their attack style from either magic to range or range to magic. Now the reason I didn't touch on this earlier on was because I didn't really care about this at all, and I completely ignored this mechanic. As a matter of fact, all I did was keep my distance so that the only 2 attacks could have been magic or range, and I prayed range the whole entire time. And since I was bringing 10 food with me, I really never had to switch my prayer, and I never even got close to dying even once. So yeah, of course it is up to you. I just prefer the AFK method compared to switching my prayer every 3rd hit. But if you want to maximize your kill per trip, you know, I was getting about 15 kills per trip, and I'm pretty sure if you pray accordingly, you can probably get upwards of 20. So it's up to you, but I just prefer doing things the easy way. You know, it's not easy though, running out of Zora scales on your very last Hydra kill for the video. I mean, how does this even happen? I had 16,000 scales, and I actually used all of them, literally exactly all of them, for this video. I did end up using 7,000 rune darts, and you know, luckily I finished the kill off with the rune darts. It was much better than staff bashing it with a Draymond staff. I gotta be honest, that'd be really embarrassing if I went through the whole kill with that. Anyways, with all that being said, here we are guys, 1,000 Hydra kills completed. It is time to do the price check. Just how much money can you guys expect from 1,000 Hydra kills, all off task of course. Looks like we got a little bit of runes, a little bit of seeds, some battle staves, some herbs, and some coins. So yeah, the very first price check coming out to be 12.3 mil. Now, as you can see, those bones being valued at 8,000 each. Let me just kind of spoil the surprise by saying that's definitely not accurate. So yeah, we will have to, you know, look at this price check again in a second. I did end up with 2 rares, did not manage to finish the brimstone ring. I think that would have been really cool if we were able to pull it off, but unfortunately we were not. Anyways, the second price check coming out to be 1.7 mil, meaning that 12.3 mil plus the 1.7 comes out out to be 14 mil from 1,000 Hydra. And keep in mind, this was averaging 85 to 90 kills per hour. But in order to be 110% accurate, it's only fair if we sell all the items in front of you guys, since this is new content. You know, you guys should see what the bones are going for as of today, and it looks like they are going for 4K each. When I woke up and when this update went live, they were going for 6 to 8K, but usually that's how it goes on the first day of an update. Things are just much more valuable than they should be. So yeah, that was 4 mil automatically gone from the price check, which was pretty unfortunate, because after we got done selling all of the other items, everything pretty much included, we ended up with 9.7 mil. So although I'm not impressed with that price check, especially for a monster that requires 95 Slayer to kill, I will say that, you know, I did receive quite a lot more rares than I expected, especially being off task, so it wasn't that bad of a day, and I really did enjoy this content and this whole area and update in general. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I will be reading a lot of them as I, you know, pretty much learn more about this update, and any advice that you guys have for all of the other monsters in this dungeon that I plan on making a video of, please don't hesitate. I really do appreciate advice. And yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys very much for watching the video. I have played RuneScape way too much in the past 2 days, so I'm going to go to bed now and pretty much no life again all day tomorrow, and you guys will be seeing the next video as 1,000 Drakes. So yeah, I will see you guys then.